As you may have heard before, the definition of crazy is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Now, the thing about this is that it's obvious, right? It's obvious when you say it. How can you expect to have something else happen if you keep doing the same things? However, when you are actually in that cycle of repeating the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results, you don't necessarily see that you're doing the same things over and over and over again. It's kind of as if you're thinking, why isn't this working out? Why is this not working out? Because you may change things up ever so slightly, but you're technically still doing the same thing. And so sometimes it's a bit hard to see that you're stuck in that loop of doing the same thing and expecting different results. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, doing something different requires you to step out of your comfort zone. It requires you to think outside the box, or it requires you to put your ego and pride to the side and own up and say to yourself, oh my gosh, I really don't know what I'm doing, and what I've been thinking I should be doing is actually horrible. It's actually shit. And you may not know what to do. That's the thing, you may not even know what to do, or what you have to do may seem absolutely ridiculous to you. Like, how is that what I'm meant to do? How is that what I'm meant to do? And what seems to have the most sense to do is what you go through and do, but this is the loop of doing the same things over and over and over again. The things that you actually have to do tend to not actually make a lot of sense. Guess why? Because you haven't done them yet. You haven't done them yet, so you don't know where this is going to lead you. So it may seem ridiculous to you, it may seem embarrassing to you, but guess what? If it seems ridiculous, if it seems embarrassing, if it seems completely and utterly delusional, then chances are you are breaking out of the loop of doing the same thing and expecting different results. You are actually doing something different, which in turn will lead to different results. When you're stuck in the loop of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you tend to not see it because you tend to think that what you thought was going to be the solution. And you're going to change it up ever so slightly. And it's not that you think to yourself that you can't be wrong, or because of your ego and pride you can't see. It's not necessarily that, but it's just that our brains just think that this is the most logical way to go about this. It's that everything else won't really necessarily work. But most of the time, for it to work and for you to actually get different results, which may be positive, for you to end up getting the different results and not doing the same thing over and over again, actually, it may require you to do something that seems a bit stupid in your head. It seems a bit stupid, it seems a bit, I don't know, irrational. I don't know, it may seem, I've had this plenty of times where I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should do this, but then I was like, oh, but that's like kind of stupid. But then I thought to myself that, but if I don't do it, then it's not going to lead to a different result. Let me give you guys an example. You want to change your life, right? You want to finally break the bad habits, and okay, let's not make this about this anymore. Confidence. Let's say you want to build confidence, right? Right now, you've been trying to get confidence, you've been going to the gym, you've been, looking at yourself in the mirror, you've been really pumping it up, your back, your triceps and biceps and all of that stuff. But you are still not feeling comfortable. You're going out there and you're talking with people and you're trying to be confident, you're changing your hair, you're changing your outfits, you're changing everything. However, one thing you never changed, and then you realize that, wait, nothing is changing for me. And then you think to yourself, okay, maybe I should start working on my legs. So you go and work on your legs. So you're slightly changing up what you were doing in the beginning, but you're actually doing the same thing because you think that it's that's going to, like, for example, the gym, that is going to make you more confident, which obviously I know that in some cases that is the case, but I'm just giving a hypothetical situation here to explain my point. And then you go, you work out your legs, and then you think to yourself that you still aren't feeling confident. Why are you still not feeling confident? you go out there and you talk to even more people, and etc. But as I said, you're still doing the same things over and over and over and over again. So what do? You finally just sit down and you just start speaking words of affirmation to yourself. You start affirming things to yourself, like I am confident, even though, for example, before you thought that that was going to be stupid and that wasn't going to do anything, but turns out you were actually on a daily basis speaking very negative and thinking very negatively about yourself. So you start to sit down and you start to change your way of thinking in the aspect of that you actually start to be aware of your thoughts and what you think about yourself. And then you start changing that. You actually start becoming more confident because you start telling yourself you're confident. You stop shaming yourself for things, and you start actually being present. You start being in the moment. You start realizing that actually you're not as bad as you make yourself out to be. And then you actually start to break out and you actually start to feel confident because you now did something else. You did something different. You did something that in the beginning you thought wasn't actually going to have a huge impact on you, when actually it did. Same thing with, for example, this is an example from my life. I don't ever give myself as an example, but I think I should start trying to. So for example, I, as someone that was extremely undisciplined, still am, what I do is I keep writing down, okay, this is my morning routine and this is my night routine, and then I never keep up with it. And then I think to myself again, after a cycle has repeated itself. So I'm thinking to myself now, oh, okay, I need to get disciplined, so what do I have to do? I write myself a morning routine and I write myself a night routine. Boom, pow, cycle repeats itself. Once again, I'm feeling like I'm undisciplined. I start being like feeling down, and then I start writing again. Okay, what should I do to stop being disciplined? Write a morning routine, write a night routine. Bam, done, cycle repeats itself again. And I keep thinking I'm doing something different when actually I keep repeating the same things. I keep doing the same things over and over again. So sometimes it's really easy to say that you are repeating things and you think that things are going to change, because when you are stuck in that loop, it's really hard to break out of it. It's really hard to see a different answer. And it's really hard to see a different answer as being something logical or something that will work because you've never done it before. So you go back to what's common. So I hope this video helped you. And my iPad's cut. So this is the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, bye guys.